It has been over a year since I last put out my best chimp strategy, and things have definitely changed. Don't get me wrong, I love the Druids, but there comes a time when you need to step up your game, and that's what this strategy is for. Now you guys all know Chewy, he's an admin in the Discord, plus he's given this channel several strategies in the past, but he has showed me how to wield this awesome weapon of a strategy known as the Mauler strat that all the crazy good BTD6 players are using to beat the hardest maps in BTD6. At first I was skeptical, but he put out a guide for both quad chimps and bloody Puddles chimps using a version of this strategy. So if you guys are in need of help on either of those two crazy maps, definitely head on over to his channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. But unfortunately for me, I'm not quite there yet, so I tested it out on some easier maps, and this thing is a pure wrecking ball. So without further ado, let's jump into the best chimp strategy. To make this crazy strategy work, you're gonna need a Striker Jones. You can use whatever skin you want. I prefer Octa Jones, but today we're gonna go classic and keep it cool. You're then gonna click Dark Castle, Hard, and then Chimps. Now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drop a Dart Monkey right here on this bottom. Make sure he is actually touching the track just like so. And then we're going to take a sub and we're going to place him in the bottom left on this drawbridge and the land as close as you can get it to both of these. So just right there. You're then going to hit play and you're going to save up for another Dart Monkey. Now this Dart Monkey is going to go right here into the corner as far as you can get it right there. And then you're going to save up 485 for twin guns. Let's grab twin guns, and now we're going to save up 1080 for airburst darts. Let's grab airburst darts, and then we're going to save up 140 for longer range. Now with the longer range upgrade, we are now safe to save up for Striker Jones, so we're going to save up $810. Now with Striker, we're just going to place him right next to this Dart Monkey, also touching the track. Just get him in there tight as you can because we are going to place more towers next to him later, but it's not like too crazy or nothing, so just right there. We're going to put him on strong. We're then going to save up for advanced intel for the sub. Here we go with advanced intel. Now we're going to go over to this front Dart Monkey right here. We're going to give him long range darts and enhanced eyesight, so now this guy can see camo and just get more range in general. Now with 1190 saved up, we're going to get triple guns, and then we're going to save up 595 for an alchemist. We're going to take our alchemist and we're going to place him to the bottom right next to the sub as close as you can get it, down right on the track. So just over there, down there, just like we did with the sub, but on the opposite side. We're then going to get this guy to larger potions, acidic mixture dip, and berserker brew, a 300. Now with berserker brew, the beginning phase of this strategy is over. Basically what we were doing is just setting up to survive. And now with this guy buffed, he's going to be our strong tower that gets us through until we get what we want a little bit later on. Now that's going to be what's different from map to map, because let's say you're monkey meadow, you don't have water, so you're going to be using something like a ninja to get you through. But basically what you're looking for is just one strong tower so you can build up your other defenses to where you can start spamming those maulers and get real crazy. So basically how I was taught this strategy is after you're done with the beginning setup, depending on the map that you're on, you're going to take a spike factor, you're going to place it near your exit. Now our goal is to get this thing to spike balls, because spike balls are crazy and can pretty much keep your defenses going while you're saving up for your maulers and your villages for later on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to save up 865 for bigger stacks, and then white hot spikes, and then spike balls, or in this case spike pineapples. Here we go with those spike balls, and now we're going to save up 650 for faster production, and then we're going to get even faster production. Now right after we grab even faster production for 865, I'm going to turn off auto start because we are on round 39, so I want to make sure we get through round 40 with no problem. Now what we're going to do for round 40 is we're going to take a Dart Monkey and place him right here to give more range to our sub. Now with this setup, you can actually get through the mob without having to use an ability, but I don't want to take any chances like that today. This is the best, so we're going to make it the best. So what we're going to do is as soon as the Moab breaks open, not a second sooner, we're going to pop that first ability, and that's going to stall everything underneath. It's not like crazy timing or anything. As you can see, I had like a little bit of delay there. Now we're going to take another spike factory and put it a little bit below this one with enough room to place an alchemist here in a little bit. So as you can see, just like kind of like that. We're going to take this guy and we're going to get bigger stacks again, white hot spikes, and then spike balls. Here we go with spike balls, and then again we're going to get faster production and even faster production. Let's grab that even faster production, and now we're going to get our alchemist. We're going to place him right here like I showed you a little bit ago, and we're going to get him to a berserker brew as well. So larger potions, acidic mixture dip, berserker brew, and then faster throwing on this guy for 700. Now with this guy's a 301, our last thing we're going to do on this bottom side for now is we're going to get this village, make sure everybody's in range just like so, and then you're going to get bigger radius and jungle drums for 1620. Here we go with jungle drums, and now we are done with the prep work, guys. We can finally start putting things down, but first we're actually going to save up like $10,000 here. I just want to show you how awesome these guys are and why we built this defense up first, because we don't really need to do anything else for a while. But like I said before, it's going to depend on the map that you're on. Like that screenshot I showed earlier of firing range, I did not have two spikes on each end. Since there's two X's, I put a spike on both ends, and then you're just going to want to vary up depending on the map to make it the best for that map. But as you can see, with just pineapples and a sub, we have made it this far with zero problems, and now we're going to set some little more groundwork before we can finally put our maulers. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this village right here. And what I did was I went into Sandbox and made sure that these placements work because we're gonna be using double discount villages. If you guys have used them before, it's kind of tricky to fit everything around it in the perfect spot. So I went to Sandbox and made sure they're perfect because I'm real big on that kind of stuff. I want everything to be perfect. But as you can see from the screenshots before, some of those are kind of ugly and I didn't really take much thought into it. You don't need to either. But for this, since we're making it a video, I want it to be perfect and I'm going to show you exactly how to get there. So what we're doing is the bottom range bubble of this village. You can see there's like a dark brown and a light brown spot. We're going to put our bottom bubble right at the edge of that. And then we're going to touch this palapa to this little clover on the ground like you can see there. So just right there and just right here, that simple. You're then gonna grab a monkey business, just the one, and then you're gonna grab this one right here and move it over to where these two palapa tops touch each other just like so. Boom. You're gonna hit monkey business, monkey commerce, and now this one is definitely a little cheaper. And thanks to Masson, another admin in my Discord, he did the math and you save 30 bucks by doing it that way. And now we're going to get bigger radius, jungle drums, primary training, and primary mentoring on this right one, because as you can see with those perfect placements, we now have this touching all the way to here. So any Moab Maulers that we put there are going to actually get those buffs. We're then going to go over to this left side village and go grow blocker and radar scanner. And that is the prep work. Now we can start placing some bombs down. So let's take this first bomb right here and we're going to put them right next to the alchemist. And like I said, I put these guys in there as tight as possible just because I like it to look clean. You guys can do whatever you need to do. It's just easier that way. You can fit more if you just get real precise with it and real crazy. And what's really cool about this strategy is as I try to make it as picky as possible and put them in the exact spots, I don't have to worry about like losing to a rush or anything like that. These guys can hold their own. One more isn't going to hurt you or break you. It's really, really cool. And also, since we're going to be using so many of these guys, it's also great that we have primary training or primary mentoring because we're going to get these free stuff here. So for this one, we're going to go extra range frag bombs, and then we're going to go up top to bigger bombs. Now this first bomb is actually going to be recursive clusters. So we're going to save up 690 for cluster bombs. Here we go with cluster bombs. Now we're going to save up 3025 for recursive cluster. So I'm grabbing recursive during round 55, and then I'm going to grab heavy bombs as well. And now he's good to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take another bomb, and as you can see, since we placed it perfectly earlier, we can actually fit two, one below and one above this whole row right here, which is really nice. So we can also place one above this alchemist right next to this wall right here next to the sub. So we're going to go as low as we can, but then we're going to want to move it to the left a little bit so he has that number 2 next to him, so he has the double discounts, right? So just move it over just a little bit, and there you go. Now this guy's going to be a Moab Mauler, so we're going to get faster reload, missile launcher, and then Moab Mauler for 780, just like that. And then we're gonna get bigger bombs. Now every Moab Mauler that we put, we're either gonna use the top path or the bottom path, but just the first one since it's free. We're not gonna spend more money than we need to. Now we're gonna take one more bomb here. We're gonna place him right above our recursive cluster, and then we're going to fit it right next to that Mauler, just like so. And then this one's gonna be a 320, that stall bomb that's just gonna hold everything in place later on and make this so easy. So go bigger bombs, heavy bombs, really big bombs, and faster reload for now since it's free. I think I called that last one faster reload, but I think you guys understood what I was saying. Let's grab Bloon Impact now, and this one we are going to buy missile launcher. So just these two we actually upgraded a little further than we needed to for the rest of them, just because these guys are serving a different purpose. They're going to back us up and just make sure nothing ever gets by. Now so far we really don't have much on this screen, but look at round 60, easy stuff. Those pineapples and those, did they even get to the pineapples? I don't even think so. That's so cool. So now we're going to take another bomb and we're going to place it right next to the recursive, just like so. And this is pretty much going to be the recipe until we get this whole thing surrounded in them. Is just get them in there as tight as you can. So go faster reload, missile launcher, Moab Mauler, and then bigger bombs. So I'm placing another one right above that one right there. So Moab Mauler and then the bigger bombs. And then we're going to place two more. And you can actually do it during round 63. You don't have to watch 63. That's how cool this is. It just wrecks right through. So we're going to take this guy right here and just put it right as close as you can get it, just like that. Just like that. There you go. And you're going to go faster reload, missile launcher, and then Moab Mauler. While 63 is going in the background, you don't have to fret or look because I have not lost yet and not even came close. So do not worry about it. We're then going to grab our, how many do we have right now? We have 4. I want 5. So we're going to grab one more Moab Mauler. We're going to put it right above that other one next to that one we did on top, just like so. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we are done until we get to round 80. So during the ZOMG, we're just going to let this towers take it as is. But then after that, we're going to place more. We're going to have like 30 or 40 grand or something. But just these 5 Moab Maulers, these 2 bombs and spike factories are going to wreck until then. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, dude, this takes way longer and is way more difficult than the Druid strategy. And I can argue with you that that is true, but this is a lot more versatile of a strategy and way stronger. And I don't think the Druids can beat Bloody Puddles or quads. Plus those 3 that I did last night were super quick and super easy. Just plop them down and go. And when you have the Druid, you're sitting there with them and you're like, do I have enough Alks? Is it going to make it through? And you're like watching each level, making sure everything's good. With this one, you just let it go. It can handle it. And as you can see here, we have $38,000 on round 80 and we only have 5 Maulers. You could have placed them all around if you wanted to. I'm just lazy and I didn't need to because I've tested this a couple times. This is just super strong. So I hope you guys can agree with me that this is the best or better than the Druids. Now, I am sorry, Mr. Druids. I still love them and I will still use them. And they're super fun to use when they start wrecking it. But this is just so easy and so cool. And you'll see this thing just destroy the whole game. And that's just really fun. And honestly, the hardest part is going to be placing these villages and getting the discounts right. Because when I first was trying this out, I think I only had like 10 Maulers in here. We're going to have about 15, but I only had 10 because I was so bad at it. So I just went into sandbox and practiced. And then as I've done it more and those other maps were kind of easy too, you just get the hang of it and the distance of it and stuff. And it's not that bad. So now since we have all that money, you guessed it, we're going to spam a ton more Maulers. So basically just put them in here anywhere you can. And you're going to want 15 Maulers at the end. So just put them in there as tight as you can. Then go 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And I'll jump over to this side to show you before I kind of skip away. So you can fit one on the side if you place them right where I showed you with that little clover earlier. And we're going to get him to, again, faster reload, missile launcher, Moab Mauler, and bigger bombs. But now on this top layer up here, so 3 up, I guess you'd say, we're going to start actually going to the 3rd middle and then down the free one for extra range. So now it can hit more of the track. And we're doing that across the top here. So sometimes the last one can be a little tricky depending on how you place them, but just look for a 2 spot. You will get it as long as you put them as tight as possible. And then for this one, we're also gonna go longer range or extra range. And as you can see, this whole back range has the extra range, and all these are just gonna be regular ones because they all hit the track or more of it, just like so. So I have 15 Maulers here and you guys should too, but if you only have 14 or maybe even 13 because you're practicing on placing the villages and everything, do not worry. It's gonna be just fine because the next tower we're gonna use is so ridiculously overpowered too, that this thing is just kind of a walk in the park from here on out. So now this is our strategy. The Moab Mauler spam with these 2 guys here to kind of back you up, plus the spike factories with little alchemists on it. This is it. Well, especially with Striker Jones, since he buffs the, he buffs the Maulers and he buffs the mortar. So this is it. Now from here on out, depending on the map that you're on or the difficulty on, that's where you're going to kind of change up your strategy. I know from doing this enough times that I have more than enough money to get my famous Icicle Impale, who's just amazing and wrecks everything, to make this 10 times easier. But let's say you didn't. You can get the Shattering Shells, the Boomerang Moab Press, the Glue Stopper for the Moabs. There's so many other support towers you can throw in there if you're not going for that tower like the Ice Impale, or you're not going to have enough money if it's a harder map like Bloody Puddles or something like that. But in this case, we're going to take this guy right here, make sure he's in range of the village, and you're going to go all the way to the bottom. Oh, we're not there yet. One more round, all the way to the bottom. And then you're going to go permafrost and metal freeze, and you're going to place him on strong. Now from there right on, this is just, I mean, dang, you could have just gone a lot longer, but still, now it's just total wrecking ball. So now we're going to take this guy and we're going to go to grow blocker, radar scanner, so we can get those DDTs. And then let's just give him primary training too, so we can attack a little faster. So now just to say again, the Icicle Impale is not going to be the best addition on every single map. It's just the best for this one to make it that easy. So to make your map that you're working on, let's say Peninsula or something, your best chimp strategy is going to add a little bit of a different tower at the end. Like I said, like mortars or something like that. And you're going to add more support towers. But for this map, it's super easy with the Icicle Impale. I bet on Monkey Meadows, you probably don't even need Icicle Impale. You can probably just last the whole map with what you have here. I didn't use it on Peninsula. I didn't use it on firing range. I didn't use it on off the coast either. I just used stall towers and attack towers, things like that. But that's why this strategy is a lot of fun too. As long as you get this bases here, all the Moabs are gone. They're all just gone. It doesn't even matter. It's just going to demolish. So another thing that's really cool, it's worth noting, that's why we're using Striker Jones as well, is that once he hits level 20, his artillery command, so his second ability, gives double damage and pops per shot to all bomb shooters and mortar monkeys for 10 seconds. So that's going to come in handy. Let's say if we're having trouble on 98 or 99 or even 100, or whenever you're going to need it, you can just blast that thing away. You can't use it yet, not till he's level 20, but that thing is crazy because you already have all this power times 2. But as you guys have seen in my other videos, this guy against DDTs is just, I don't even know what to say about that. It's just ridiculous. 95 is easy, 99 is easy. I just love the Icicle Impale, guys. He is so cool. Now here's round 95. I'm not going to use a sabotage or anything like that. I'm just saving my money here. Look at this guy go, and then all the bombs in between. It's just really, really cool to see this guy just go through it. Of course, you can get a sabotage. If that's a little scary to you, how close they're getting to the end here, I'm not worried about it because I've done this a few dozen times now on this map. But if you're worried about it, definitely get like a sabotage and slow everything down. That'll be super easy. Or we can now use that really cool ability I was telling you about that Striker Jones has. But I'm going to save that for 98 probably. So on 98, we're gonna have $48,343. That is ridiculous. I'm actually gonna show you two different ways to beat 98. So we're gonna sacrifice that black board for this one, but I just wanna show you two different ways in case you guys are crazy or not crazy. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go in these ×2 area, just like so, and we're gonna get a mortar, and then we're gonna put this guy right here, and we're gonna get all the way down to shattering shells, and then faster reload and rapid reload. Now you wanna put it just like somewhere in the middle, and then so you don't have to microwave or anything like that, because we're all lazy here. Now, just with that alone, you could probably get through 98. You might have to use the ability, but the second way I want to show you, let's get my finger ready so I can hit the back button before we win so we don't just automatically go to the next round. I want to show you that this can actually do it on its own, which is really, really cool. So as you can see, it's cleaning everything up on 98, which is just insanity with just the shattering shells. I am going to restart like I was telling you. And now here's the second way. It's a little more dangerous, but I really like having all this money and I don't want to get rid of it because it's kind of cool to end like a expert chimps map with all this money. So what we're going to do, and be a little risky here and a little dumb, I'd say, is we're going to use that second ability I was talking about. But what we're going to do is wait for all of the ZOMGs to be in range. Now we don't have shattering shells now, so we're taking on these guys like full damage. So as soon as the ZOMGs are like all grouped together, so like right about now, I guess, now we're gonna hit that double damage thing and just speed up because there's nothing you can do now and then go for it. So as you probably saw, that was a little bit more risky. So I would definitely go with that shattering shells mortar because that was just sketchy. And I don't know if I would risk your black border for that one, but I have $57,996 now. I'm pretty excited about that. So on 99, we don't really need to do anything. You can if you want to. A sabotage is always cool. So if you guys didn't know, you can grab this guy and then get him to his middle path Bloons sabotage. I can show you that way, but I don't think we need to. The only thing I might do is use Striker's first ability, which stalls all the big old Moabs on the screen. So if it gets a little scary, we can just do that. I'll smash that button. So let's see if it can work it. So as you can see, the Ice Impale is doing his job. I'll just smash that first ability just so I don't lose anything crazy like that. And there you go. But again, you could have used your sabotage there, maybe some Moab assassins, whatever you want. We have $60,000. This is insane to me. This is insane. But now, unfortunately, I don't want to take the chance here. We're not going to win. I've done this enough times that the bad barely even gets, I don't even think his back little tail thingy gets opened up. Now, this guy's not a bad destroyer. We know that. He's just great for DDTs and just making it really easy for us. None of these guys are really going to do it. So we have two ways we can knock this out. One of which is going to be to get this guy to a 5th tier to Moab Eliminator, and then you're going to remove this tree here, just this top one, and then you're just going to keep spamming that ability. But I'm a little bit more lazy than that. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab two of these guys. I'm going to put them in discount too, just so I can save a little bit more money here at the end. I'm just going to grab two. You can do like that crazy timing stuff, but you don't need to. Just put this guy here just like so, and then we're going to go hit it twice. But like I was saying before earlier in this strategy guide, I guess, is that if you're like on Monkey Meadow, obviously you can't use this guy, so just use the Moab Eliminator. He's a great tower, and if you guys haven't used him before, he can wreck an entire battle on his own. You just have to spam it a few times. But as soon as these guys go, just hit 3 or your strike ability, and there you go again. These guys are going to open them up, destroy everything underneath, and there you go with a round 100 win. Easy stuff, guys. I love it. I love it. You get that money, of course, because you're on an expert chimp, so you're always going to make it. Just keep doing it over and over. That's what I've been doing, and my money's just been growing on this thing. So we ended it with almost $30,000 and we had 60 before we bought these guys on 100. This strategy is insane. I hope you guys can agree. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know below what you guys think and if this is the best, because I definitely think it is. It's amazing. Check out Chewy's channel as well, because he's been putting out a lot of difficult guides that I can't even get my hands onto because I'm not the craziest best at those harder maps. And give him a thanks for me for helping me learn this strategy. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys liked it. Hit that like button if you did like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.